What's going on, beautiful people? It's your host, Drake, B. Drake with Everything Culture, the podcast for all cultures, the podcast with a purpose. Y'all already know I mentioned statement comes to the words of Dr. Martin King Jr., which he believed that men hate each other because they fear each other. They fear each other because they don't know each other. They don't know each other because of segregation. And because of segregation, we have miscommunication. So we created this platform podcast on the pillars of respect, communication, and consistency so we can get to know each other, so we can love one another. We go live every Sunday 7:30 Central Standard Time, 7:30 p.m. Okay, just be clear about that. But we chop it up with our guests, our audience, our community. We talk about what's been going on in the past 7 days, and we also talk about what we got going on, what we got coming up as well. So if you want to join in with us, holla at us. We're streaming on TikTok for a little bit, and then we're going to be over on well, we're on YouTube, and then we're just gonna be on the Zoom. Okay. And we just have our close conversations here. But yeah, thank y'all for coming through. And check out the pods. But the big thing to go on right now, we are happy to announce and happy to share. If y'all don't know, we have reached 100 guests on Everything Culture. So 100, well, not 100 guests on Everything Culture, 100 interviews. We interviewed 100 different people for the makings of you.
And
The
then we're going
makings of
to
you is
be
a
over
segment
on
on Everything Culture
YouTube, and
where
then we
we
just gonna
talk
be on.
about what's up, Ken. Hold on, let me put the information up. It's the same link that we had before. Hey
Okay,
Mia,
and then
hey
we
Jaya.
find close conversations here. But yeah, thank
Yeah,
y'all for coming
that's
through
how you get us.
and check out the pod.
But yeah. How y'all doing? Welcome in, welcome in. Oh, hey Jaya. Hello,
Hi.
Danielle Townsend. Hey Kiki. Man, hold on, let me put this up here. Hold on, your son just deployed. He is such a good spirit. He's actually happy about it. Oh, congratulations and thank him for starting his service representing this country. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, now we got to make sure I'm finding the right thing that I've used before. Boom. There we go. So if you want to join us, we're right here. Information's on the screen. Uh, and man, I'll make sure. Okay, cool. Hey, Kiki. We're gonna be talking about my guy. Most the guest of this week is Big Ken. Man. Oh, have y'all listened? Hold on. Have y'all listened to this week's episode?
Yes.
Okay. I got an hour from Jaya. Mia's still figuring things out, so we'll come back to it. Thank you, Edith. Appreciate you. Okay, I see a so, I see a yes, I see a yes. Okay. Let me make sure to move that around. So man, once again, shout out to Ken. Ken and I was talking about this conversation for 10 years, something about coming together so we can chop it up with one another, get to know him. And man, I'm so happy to be able to share. I'm gonna be sharing his episode not only throughout this week, but next week. So I'm not gonna put out an episode tomorrow. I already have my guest lined up. I already have an episode to put out, but I'm gonna put it out the following Monday because I really want to put out these 100 clips of our previous guests, including with Ken. So we're doing a little bit of double work right now. This is a lot of work, y'all. This is a whole lot of work. Shout out to my content creators out here. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it looked like. So, but we go persevere. We go get through it. You feel me? But yeah. So what stood out to y'all? Did y'all learn something about Ken? Did y'all know Ken before? Did you follow him before? And what? How did you feel? What are your thoughts?
What stood out to me the most was clearly me and Ken different states.
Hmm.
A lot of the things, like his last meal, I grew up eating like fish and spaghetti. And he was just the fish and spaghetti. I was just like, whew. Like, he don't know it, but we locked in as best friends now. Now I'm not the only person that'll eat fish and spaghetti. And
And
my
you from
husband's on the
Georgia.
outside for one person. Um, the sugar in his rice and his grits.
That's how I
I'm
was
just like,
like.
we really locked in. My husband's just like, that's still weird. But if that's what y'all want to do that
It's
on y'all own.
delicious. It's delicious. Tell you that now. Fried fish and spaghetti on Friday night. See, and that's the thing. Where does that? I always say I thought that was a Memphis thing. I thought that was a Tennessee thing more than anything else.
So
Oh yeah,
my grandma was just like, it's basically how your family. I was like, I know it's based on how your family grew up and stuff like that, but I always thought it was because my great grandmother is from, I think, born and raised in Chicago,
yeah,
and
my
she
family.
moved later on to East St. Louis, Illinois. So I thought that was an Illinois thing. And then she was just like, no, it's all over. I was just like, I can see that because when I was like, kid from watching the interview, I was just like, he was born in Kentucky and then he lived in Indianapolis. And she was like,
Hmm.
and he ate fish and spaghetti? I was just like, yes, and he put sugar in his grits and in his rice. He don't know, but we locked in.
Hey, listen, that is like such a breakfast, lunch, dinner. It goes with everything.
I said the
People
same
just don't
thing.
understand.
My husband was just like, I still don't want to eat my fish with spaghetti. Because he grew up eating fish with grits or with some white bread. And I was like, you eat it that way, or if you go to my great grandma's house, she makes it a big old pot of spaghetti and she's frying some fish, and it's always on a Friday.
Yeah, yeah.
I've yet to see her fry fish on any other day of the week other than Friday.
Okay, so okay, you in Detroit. Yeah, it's definitely a cultural thing. So like with the fish and spaghetti, I don't mind eating fish and spaghetti, but I've never really ate. I eat them separately, but never together. And hearing them together, I'm like, I used to think that's a lot, you know, that's a lot. But in hindsight, I'm like, okay, I still may not do it, but I ain't gonna knock nobody to do it. We ain't gonna be like Kiki in the chat. We ain't gonna yuck nobody yum, We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna
My
do that.
face turned as soon as you said fish and spaghetti. My face turned up.
So that's how we doing it. We
That's
better than
hilarious.
that.
I
Huh?
can't. No, it's not that I'm better than that. It's like I know I'm from West Virginia, born and raised, and I know
Okay.
people here that do that. And I'm like, you got meat in your spaghetti, then you got fried fish on the side, and then some people they'll do the spaghetti with the meat sauce, and then they'll do the fried fish as like a sandwich. They'll put it on bread, and
Hmm.
I'm like, that is a lot. But the sugar and the grits, I can't do that.
But
I
hey,
can't.
let me talk. Hey, I'll
That's
do it.
that's that's too much.
I'll do it.
Salt, butter, and cheese is the best way.
I'll do that too. I keep telling people I'm paying grits. Okay. My
Me
grits
too,
go
because
every type of way. Okay.
it
I mean,
depends on how I'm feeling that particular. Sometimes I want sweet, sometimes I want savory.
We call that the
like,
crackhead bill, the sugar and the grits.
hey, call me Pookie then. You feel me? Like, you ain't about to shame me out eating what I want to eat. You know what I mean?
Hey, get it how you live. Like you said, if you like it, I love it, but I can't do it.
like for instance, now don't act all funny with me. Like for instance, in my family, I can't say how everybody else does it, but definitely in my people, on both sides of my people. Hello, baby sister. Um, I know we got catfish, spaghetti, and bread. I like cornbread too with my spaghetti. But the point I'm getting at is like how do we almost all meals we have some type of meat in it, unfortunately. Okay. The greens gonna have some meat in it. The beans gonna have some meat in it. The only like unless it's like sweet, like we don't put no meat in the yams, you feel me? But yeah, we doing chicken and grits. But like it's hard just to avoid just it's gonna be some bacon or some sausage, or just some ground beef. Like even in our baked beans, it's gonna have some type of beans and ground beef in it. So when I cannot catfish and spaghetti because we eating barbecue with baked beans with other meat in it too. So it's like we rolling at it. Cabbage gonna be some meat in it. All right. It's
Now the
just
baked beans, I lived in Mississippi for a year,
okay.
and I had never in my life had ground beef in my baked beans until I lived there.
Life
And
changing,
that
right?
was, huh?
Life changing, right?
No. I don't like the texture. Like it was ground beef and like bell peppers and stuff in it.
Yeah,
I
That's how
have
you
never
make 'em.
had that in my life. And I
that's
don't know if that is that like a worldwide thing
so.
because
I gotta ask y'all, what's up, one Mike? Um, it's like chili. So what do y'all put in y'all baked beans then for your barbecue baked beans? Hey Keisha, if y'all want to
it'll
come over,
be
we right here, y'all. This is Zoom. This is the meeting ID. This is the password, capital C, not little C, big C. All right, just let y'all know.
it's normally like bacon or something in the baked beans, not ground beef.
Missing out. Sugar,
I had
okay.
it once, and I
Kiki
mean,
say sugar and barbecue sauce. So she basically saying sugar and more sugar. Got it. She got it.
oh
And some
Lord.
bacon. And some bacon.
But yeah, I don't the sugar and the grits, the fish and spaghetti and the ground beef and the baked beans, that was all new to me when I moved to the South.
Mhm. Well, welcome. We take care. Hey, it's the reason
It's
why.
technically considered the South.
Who else is considered the South?
You say you from Virginia, me?
I'm from West Virginia. West Virginia is a southern state, but I had all that stuff when I lived in Mississippi. I lived in Mississippi for a year.
Is West Virginia considered the South? I
It's
know Virginia is
considered a
considered
southern
the South.
state. West Virginia is considered it's odd because
All under
we're
the.
in the middle. So
Okay, so
northern people think we're southern people think we're northern. We
I thought
smack
y'all
dab
like
in the middle.
Midwest. So because I know Virginia is just like we was talking about Maryland. Maryland is considered the South.
Yeah, Maryland,
Hmm.
West Virginia hits, I think it's called Cumberland, Maryland. We're right on the
Mm,
border, but you got to go like 4 hours north to get there. I'm closer to the bottom. Like I'm
okay.
right on the border of Kentucky and Ohio.
Okay.
So
I'm
yeah.
telling you that what we be eating, Maryland's considered. Hey, Google it. Like if you look at what was considered a southern state, Maryland would be considered a southern state. That's why they
Yeah.
still got that drawl and things, But I
Southeast.
digress. I'm just putting y'all the same thing. We can say Florida southeast if that's the case. You know what I mean? But the
Yeah, we
southern
definitely ain't
states
Midwest.
started there. Now I'm just sharing with like when people talking about like Texas ain't the South, baby, Texas is the South. Okay. Now we
Texas
the
is Texas, and that's still the
and
South.
that's the point. That's what's called. Texas is still Texas, but it's the South. Texas is like the Beyonce of the South. We really don't need you, but like you know, just keeping it real. Like we still gonna do us no matter what. Like, you can say even geography, we are the most southern state. If you talk about historically, we may not be in a first, but we stepped in and became the strongest southern state because we're the one that held on to the cultural, the rituals longer than anything else. Okay. We'll say the rest later. But I'm just putting y'all on game. But man, but y'all, yeah, how y'all week been though? How y'all been?
It's been good, and then it's also just like I can't wait for me to get done with this math class because it's pissing me off. But in other words, I just entered one of my favorite subjects, so I guess
Mm,
that's making it me being in this math class until November a little bit easier.
what subject is that?
History.
Oh, okay, lit. Love it. I know. But you got to just keep persevering, keep pushing through. Okay, I'm from Michigan, but I've been living in Tennessee for a while. Michigan food is better though. I've never had Michigan or Tennessee food, so I cannot share my opinion upon that. Hey Tanya, how we
I've had
doing?
food from Tennessee because I basically stayed in Tennessee,
Hmm.
like from fifth grade to eighth grade. Their food is good, but and some people say I'm biased. They not touching Georgia food, like Georgia food. They not unless you get into Memphis barbecue.
I like
That's
Memphis bar.
Memphis barbecue is
Mm,
the only
I do
exception.
like Memphis barbecue though. I always forget Memphis
I
is
haven't
in
had
Tennessee.
Michigan food.
What's going on, Jay? Damn, it's a good ass pineapple. So, let me before I get since I'm on the tick and the top. What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all, we gotta do better, y'all. One, y'all make sure to subscribe to the podcast. Two, I don't understand why we as people. Oh, excuse me. I don't know if y'all heard that. Y'all probably caught all that on the mic. I don't understand why we as people complain about who we give platforms to after they do something crazy. Like y'all didn't see they're gonna do something crazy. Like I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of this recently that I'll look at someone and I'll sit back and like this person ain't got all the marbles. Okay. They some of their screws a little loose. Okay. You could tell they just waiting to snap. I'm like, I don't know how y'all don't see it. Maybe because my background being in social work, working with families, working with children, yada yada yada. I got something else for y'all too later, but y'all remind me. Just say you had something else to talk about families. But anyway, um, so I think is it Brick Baby? Was that her name? With one, she had like 5 to 7 kids, something like that. Okay, she made the trend. She made the trend that I'm not the birthday girl. I'm the birthday girl, little sister. I'm not the birthday girl. I'm the birthday girl, little brother. And they all come through. Shout out to my social workers. So she was doing that. And listen, I'm all for the hood content. All right. But what type of hood content we getting into? And when you deal with some of the hood content, we can't be surprised when the hood comes out. All right. And how we react to that person and how that person reacts to us. It's like you're setting these people up for failure. That's how I feel. Like you giving them a large platform, or you give someone elderly. Oh yeah, yeah, I saw a few, and I'm like, ooh, I pray for it. Yeah, if y'all know me, once again, if you really talk to me, I have a certain issue about people putting their kids in front online. That's me. Now, if their kids old enough and their kids are old enough to make that decision or create their own thing, cool. But I believe we see a lot of child exploitation here on the internet. A lot of child exploitation. And that is child abuse. Okay. And if you want to take the time out and understand what child exploitation is, Google it. All right. But we see a lot of it. Um, yeah, it's like Tina, you correct. Once again, I would tell all the caseworkers, social workers, if I ever saying anything that's incorrect or out the norm, correct me, check me, put me in my place. I'm open for it. But stand on business. If we was in a court of law, if this was the open investigation, what would we be doing? Okay. I just want to be clear about that. So I say all that to say this. Um, with this woman here, hello, Christian. What Chris? Look at Christian showing up a little early. We got a couple more minutes. We still streaming right now. We still see JD. But I'm gonna call her by the initials until we hop off the streaming. I know she early, ain't she? But happy Sunday, y'all. Thank you, Christian. But I'm saying this. So allegedly, this woman, she been snapping off. She been going off. Okay, she been crazy. She been cussing folks off left and right. She made a poor decision. Like surprise. I'm sorry. I'm just seeing. I see these type of behaviors, see these habits. I'm like, she gonna slip up. And when people make a mistake, and when people in those certain type of predicaments, they feel like they're cornered. They continue to lash out, and she's lashing out now. And the internet don't care about you lashing out. They can continue to throw salt, lemon, cayenne, pepper, anything on that wound because they find some type of gratification to making you lash out, crash out. That's the thing. They want you to do that. We talked about crashing out before. And the thing is, they could go back and chill at their house and eat their yogurt and parfaits and things and not think nothing of it, while you gonna be highly stressed out and dealing with the consequences of your actions, especially if you've been given that. Y'all always hear about me talking about giving people these platforms and these pedestals. They built this pedestal. These people allow these pedestals to be built, and these people feel higher now. They feel good. They finally being recognized. And then here comes the a-holes or the people waiting for you to fall and kicking under you. And now they falling down, and people enjoy watching that fall. People enjoy looking at that crash. Like it's pages that's out there just looking at seeing people have legit accidents or legit crashing out on something. They're saying, there are no laws in place quite yet, which makes it a touchy subject. In Texas, it is. In Texas, if people are, it's not specifically internet, but when you talk about the child exploitation, it's right there in black and white. It's right there. So people just started calling investigations and how they're using their children to receive monetary value or just get some type of clout or fame or attention without the permission of the child. Like, listen, I could, once again, that people talk about me being I would love to have you as a caseworker, this, and that. I would, once again, I could, once again, we learned in training. You can almost, y'all remember the white pages? They say you can flip to the white pages, eyes closed, and put put like a pin on 10 different places. Out of those 10 different pins, you can find 7 if they have kids. You can find some type of at least neglect in the household. And that's another way. But some of these people, they just sharing, they don't know better. Once again, we all talk about the intent. You have to talk about the intent of a parent. Now, if their intent of parent is to come up off their child, they making it, like, for instance, yeah, okay, let's talk about my people in here, my black people in here. I don't know. I don't know how any other people do. I don't know how my Latin. I don't know how my white, my European. I don't know how my Caribbean. I'm talking about the foundational black or what you call it, um you know American descendants of slavery, all these things. I'm talking to y'all, okay? When your friend, like, somebody put a video out recently, okay? I think I sent it to some folks on IG. I may have shared it on my close friends on IG or something. But when your mama friends came over, or your auntie and uncle you ain't seen it forever come over, and you in the bed sleep when you was a child, did they ever wake you up and tell you to come dance in front of everybody?
Yes, and I hated it.
Did they tell you come and say hi and hello? They came to, hey, clean up and do the Michael Jackson, go moonwalk, go do the James Brown. I don't know. Maybe it's Chris Brown that turned into do the backflip. I don't know. That is cute, but that could be considered almost child exploitation. Okay. You're doing something absolutely at the child's will and want, and you getting some type of gratification for it. Okay. People like, man, that's a stretch. Is it? Is it? Okay. Hold on. Listen, they probably got Christian to come out. See, she can sing. Hold on. Never danced, but I was called out to tell a story or entertain, but I loved it. But because you were an entertainer. Isn't this how Eddie Murphy got his thing? Was that the open of Raw? When he had to be called out and he had to do not Dolomite, what's Dolomite's real name? The actor who made Dolomite. Rudy Ray Moore. Shout out to Rudy Ray Moore. Man, I'm glad they did a document. Like, he did a good job, that documentary. But he like, if you followed Eddie Murphy, he always been a fan of him. But I digress. But I'm saying all these things is these people use their kids or what they have in life, because these are normal people. All right. And I at the same sense, I don't support them. In the same level, I don't want to see them being ridiculed in the same sense. It wasn't out of my will at all. But the ones who were in a will, that's the thing. I know. Sorry about that. It's just in time because the iPad about to go out, and it has it been? I think it's been 30 minutes on the 24. We got 6 more minutes. We got 6 more minutes on YouTube. But yeah, hold on. Over the years, I went from come do that James Brown to come do the Bobby Brown to come do the Chris Brown. Hey, the Browns are something different, right? The Browns are talented individuals, and both were crazy. All three was crazy. All right, all three of them, man. But yeah, I just hate when I see people. Um, I just hate when I see them going through these type of things, even though I'm not surprised that they're going through them. But it's like the trick is like the devil. That's the best I put it. The devil hanging with bullies. Okay, we all knew bullies growing up in high school, okay, or middle school or elementary, whenever. And if a new kid comes to school, what's up, new kid? You know, but if they get around that wrong crowd, it's like, hey, they seem cool, they seem fun, but they're not going to be in your best interest. Watch out for them. Watch out for them. But they get caught up hanging with them, being cool with them, kikiing with them, and then when they become the sacrificial pig, I put it that way, it's like, damn. We try to tell them, but they it felt good being one of the cool kids. It felt good being accepted, especially when you go to a new place. Everybody want to be accepted, right? But it's hard. I know. I know. I was mainly called to sing, and to this day, I don't like singing that much. Listen, I've been called. The two things I was called to do as a child was the dance. Well, not the three. It was the dance. It was to. I think I used to recite like not Malcolm X, but Martin Luther King speeches and things. And then finally, they didn't have to call me to do it, but I used to cook. I was whipping in the kitchen, baking. But I used to love doing that. Hold on. Taking the urban studies course at TSU really broadened my horizon. Taking the African American studies at U of H broadened mine to a whole different level. I was like, man, they've been playing on our tops from the grip. And it's crazy that a lot of things we don't like, but that's why we do everything culture too. I got to get back on my historical point. Got to bring in my team. That's why I'm asking. I'm trying to build a team, y'all. I can write a mean cover letter. I can write a mean recommendation letter until I can get everybody paid. But I got to start reaching out because I got to build a team. Because I really want to get back to my daily, you know, historical, about health, talking about music, talking about art, discussing, what's going on in sports. Because let me tell y'all, once again, shout out to the 100th guest. Shout out to Ken. Once again, hope y'all listen to the most recent episode. But I'm trying to put out all episodes that I've done on the makings of you. Okay. I'm tired. I'm like, but I'm gonna keep pushing. That's why I say I ain't gonna put out an episode this week. No episode this week, y'all. But we gonna be pushing and like each one because I'm going through the previous YouTube, pulling the clip from there. Gotta pull the clip from there. Well, find the right clip. I'm trying to find something that's gonna be a little catching, not too controversial. And maybe I need to start pulling out the most controversial, craziest thing people be saying. Cause I always say that I don't like exploiting my guests, even though some came on and said some wild shit. But I bring them on, but I'm trying to find the clip, pull the clip, go to CapCut, edit, and y'all see I don't know, I've been doing the layered one. I've been seeing the clips, and man, I have so many I need to watch now. Like when I tell you, it's a lot. It's a lot. I tell you which one's the boy. It's not a lot, but it's a few that me watching myself. I used to do a lot. I said, man, I was stuttering. I kept going. But I love seeing the growth. I really do appreciate seeing the growth. Saves a lot of time. I saw even with the editing, I used to do a whole bunch of stuff with editing, la. And I'm like, man, I don't be doing half of that no more. Shout out to Christian. I did start putting the question. I think that's helpful. And I don't know how back in the day with YouTube, they used to like split my stuff up automatically. I want to know how I need to Google that and figure out how I can start that again. Cause that was very helpful for me to find what questions we're discussing. I can skip right through it to it. And I think that's helpful for the guests too. But when I tell you, it's just so much the work to do just with that. It's ridiculous. And I do want to do a campaign and like at the end of Thanksgiving and reaching out to all my guests. And we're going to have a holiday special and all my previous guests to come back and we're going to do a panel discussion together. So yeah, whoever can make it, whoever can make it. That's the point. That's going to be an episode. But yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited. But yeah, other than that, we didn't hit our 30, y'all. So we want to say thank you so much. Yeah, okay. I think it is cool to come on and talk about, you know, kick up. And I'm gonna let everybody know because a lot of my previous guests want to come back. A lot of them. Listen, some people just came on and they want to come back already. Hold on, I'm not Chuck. Who the hell is Chuck? I have to keep up with the conversation. You should. We gonna keep chopping it up over here on Zoom, but I am Drake or Culture. That's what we're going by. Drake or Culture. Used to be Mr. D713. Oh my gosh. When I was going back through my old episodes and oh, this is Mr. D713 with everything culture. That's when I used to be kind of low key with my identity, when I wasn't showing before I was showing the face, it was Mr. D713, and I just held on to it. But that's was, I don't know who Chuck is. I used to work with a Chuck. Shout out to my guy. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And going back and hearing these old episodes and we had a lot of fun. I will say that. Oh, good. Shut up, Mia. All right, y'all. We about to slide. We just about to be on Zoom right now. So if you ain't on here, right here, if you ain't right here, we'll see y'all next Sunday. Or we'll see y'all. I may hop on live tomorrow. I've been busy. I got a lot of things going on. So if I don't see y'all tomorrow or Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll definitely see y'all next Sunday. All right. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Talk to y'all later. Hold on before people start talking.